يصير.
Can I get a Honya?
What's going on, everybody? Just give us a second here. Let's get Jay in and we'll be ready to go.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast. I did actually have this fixed, but something happened to our boy Jay here, and he is gone. I don't know. I'll have to text him, and hopefully we can get this fixed. In the meantime, that said, let's kind of talk about.
I said, where the hell am I?
Yeah. It's one of those things where I was just like, where did we just go? So hopefully we can get all this fixed out. Okay, he has to reload, so he just sent me that. All right, so we'll wait for Jay before I fix the cameras and everything. But while we do that, we got a lot of things to talk about today. We got to talk about the guaranteed event for Raphael. We're going to talk about kind of the shitstorm of the April Path event with the pizza points. And there is our boy Jay coming back into Discord. And then we definitely are going to be talking about the live arena and why Plarium has so much secrecy with their events. Why can't they be open with other with the community like other games do, like Watcher of Realms, where they announce things in advance, weeks in advance, to let us know what's going on? So I can't wait to discuss all of this stuff with you guys here. Chat, I'm thankful that you guys are all here joining us on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. So let's go ahead. Let's start introducing every one of these wonderful fellas. Starting with the top little red box, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, what is going on, bro? How are you?
Doing good, man. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick, guys. I'm sorry, I wasn't there last week. I got a flu. It was my birthday and I was on the hospital. You know, it wasn't fun. And pain on my butt because needle. She said it's not gonna hurt, guys. I don't know, like, she said it's not gonna hurt. It's hurt, okay? She lied to me. Anyway, I feel better, and I start training again. And I did a 15 kilometer. My first time I did a 15 kilometer, and the next 3 days I was super tired and my feet are hurting. But I visit the place I'm going to run in 2 weeks. So yeah, there is lots of hiking there. So wish me luck, guys. In 2 weeks there's gonna be half marathon. First time on my life, so I'm preparing that whenever I get the time. Hopefully you guys doing good as well. Good to be with you guys again.
Awesome. I gotta say, earlier this week, I think it was yesterday actually, we had a match between myself and FinalKenpachi, and I realized that I do not know your accounts anymore, guys. So I think I'm gonna need a screenshot or a snapshot from the Hell Hades optimizer, because I was like, Ken, there's no way. Ken's like fastest champion is like 300 speed because he's doing like 1,000 resistance. And this guy outsped me. I also didn't have gear on my Kaja. That's, the excuse that I'm going with. But I was like, how the hell is he outspeeding me with a 300 speed? I'm like, my nukers. So it turns out Ken has reworked a lot of his champions, and he had a phenomenal win against me. Didn't even let me take a turn. He shut me out. So GG's on that.
I wasn't even know it was him, guys. Sorry. I was cosplaying F2P the entire time. I actually have a Lamborghini. You have no idea, chat.
Yep. Next up, all the way from Texas, the Dab Master himself, Mr. Zero Brew Zero. What's going on, bro? How are you?
Yo, it's been a good week. Pulled my first Battle Khazar this week. So that was interesting. Was not quite expecting that. And then
you can do Dragon. Sorry, you can do Dragon max damage now, like Hell Hades.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice. Yes. Maximum damage. Oh, right. Because
just get the red bandana.
Yeah, get the red bandana. Yeah, mine would probably be orange. And then also pulled like a dupe Sun Wukong. So yeah. And I had a little different take on the events this weekend as well. Getting the soul for our boy Granite. So yeah, talk about that. I don't know if that's on the plan, but yeah, good week.
Awesome. Okay. Next up, our 5-headed thinker, Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, what's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I didn't have Discord on my PC because I had to remove it since I got hacked previously. So I was trying to get it back, but the code is on a different phone that does this. So imagine trying to get a passcode from something that's going crazy and blinking and you can barely touch anything. So that was not easy, but luckily I got it just in time.
Okay.
I told you to stop watching that Think, Jay.
Yes.
I'll never stop.
Jay, did we learn anything from being hacked?
Yes. Instead of saving $20, it's better to spend the $20 to get something legit instead of doing something else. So,
Okay.
being cheap actually paid the price. But you know what? In the process, I learned a lot. Dealt with some banks and PayPal, and I actually made some money from it. So I lost money, but then I gained money in the long run. So in the end, it all worked out, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And last but not least, giving us a top 100 live arena perspective, Mr. Gestal Gaming. Gestal, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Had a great week. Pulled my first mythical from Remnant,
Ooh. What'd you get?
Crixia.
Ooh,
And I had a
is
six.
that-
I had a 6-star soul, brand new, and I had a 6-star soul waiting for me. And built her right up, rebuilt her right up. Man, I love her. Using her all the time. She's great. Super happy. It's been I think that was like my 24th or 25th Remnant. So it's been a long
Wow.
time. And
So
I'm not
you-
like hardcore Curse City, so it's not like I like stack them. I've definitely missed out on some Remnant. I don't want to say I missed out on Remnants, but I don't like clear it every month. So I'm probably missing out on something there. But
Okay.
so fired up.
Awesome. So you went all the way into Mercy for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think you could go further into Mercy, but yeah, I was
Yes.
in Mercy.
So apparently, if you clear everything every month, at least once a year, you'll get a mythical from Remnants. I think right now I'm like 6 months dry without one. So
I
'cause
think
the last
that's
one,
still one more year. I think it's a 3-year Mercy.
is it a 3-year Mercy for Remnants?
On Remnants?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Let's see.
If I'm not mistaken,
Um,
you can calculate yourself. You're not probably
After
better than
summoning
mine.
24 times without receiving a mythical champion, the Mercy system will activate for each subsequent summoning mythical champion increased by 1%. Yeah, so that's so you could go a very, very long time if you know, we're counting this by sacreds type of situation. You know, you can go into like 40 sacreds. So wow, that hurts. And speaking about shards, we got a prism event for our boy here, Mr. Shredder. I know a couple of us were talking about this last week on if we're going to go for this or not. And, you know, I had a conversation with Zero via text. We were talking about the brackets and what was going on. Zero, your bracket went off. The top place was like 7.7K, right?
Yeah, I mean it was barely anything, and honestly, it sat there. I mean, when we talked last week, it was still sitting at like 5,000 or something like that. Yeah, and I knew. Here's the thing: I was like, okay, if I go and try this, then that one person that does actually want we're gonna go into a 20,000 point, battle. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. So I guess that's what everybody said in the bracket. Yes, 7,700. And then I had someone in chat say that they had someone win it with like 3,000 points in their bracket, which is absolutely absurd.
So good.
That's insane.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Just want to give a quick shout out to T-Bone and Timberwolf for the resub. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you so much. So first of all, I mean, I won mine on my main account, and then I had pulled some shards on an alt account because I was just bored, and I won it on both accounts. The thing is, on my main account, I won it with 25,000 points, and on the alt account, I won it with 19. And if we have such a disparity between players winning it from 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, all the way up to 20, wouldn't it have been a smarter idea to just say, hey, guys, guaranteed, here you go, get them for, I don't know, 15, 20 sacreds. That way it's open to the community. They're not limited. They're not gating the player base out and saying, no, only a few of you guys are going to have them. It's a limited time champion. And I feel like since it is a limited time champion, even though he's not game breaking, he's not doing a lot of things. I mean, I felt the same way about Fatalis. Fatalis was an absolute trash champion when I got him, didn't use him, did help me out in hard mode faction wars. I'm not going to lie. I completed hard mode faction wars because he was my nuker. But do you guys think it would have been a smarter, better idea for them to do this with a limited time champion and say, okay, 80, 100, whatever voids, let's do it this way. Everybody gets them. And if they had done that, do you think that the player base would have gone for it, would have spent? Chat, let me ask, I want to know from you guys, would you have gone for the guaranteed shredder if he was, let's say, 100 voids on like a deck event or a path event, or just straight out 100 voids? Ken, let me throw that question to you first. Would you have gone for this guy because of the catch 'em all mentality type of situation?
100 void. You asking, is that worth 100 void, right?
Yes.
Guarantee. Yes, it's worth it. I mean, like you mentioned, he's a limited champion. He's not like really that great champion, but he's, in my opinion, is a little bit better than Fatalis. He's not like terrible like as Fatalis, but at the same time, it's also depends. Do we know the Plarium is going to give us every single rest of the champion as a guarantee as well? Because that can be changed, which means like if you log in the game, you have a Michelangelo. If you did the fusion, you have a Donatello, and Raphael, Leonardo, and the April is the guarantee. And if you thinking Shredder going to be guarantee as well, so you can collect all 6 of them, and you can get a mythical relics and some cool stuff as well as a reward, right? So even with that only is worth it. But alone, it depends your resources. Let's say like you don't have a many shard, you want to get the guarantee Leonardo. We assuming it's going to be shard event. Then it's also understandable. You are saving your shard for the better champion, better guarantee champion. So a little bit depends on the what you have.
Okay. Let's go to Jay. Jay, if this guy was a guaranteed instead of doing it for the top 1%, would you have gone for him? Would you have spent for him?
It's a close one because honestly, I do like HP nukers. I do like something that scales. So Fatalis and him do scale. I went for Narcissus, right? Which was 150 voids, and that was about almost $300 for me at the time. Do I need another HP nuker? Would I have done 100 voids? Yeah, that's a good steal. If they did it around 125 to 150, would I have done it? That's kind of risky. I would have to, think about it like long term. Where am I going to really use Shredder? Like, do I really need him for Shadowkin faction wars, hard faction wars, things of that nature? But yeah, it'd be a little tough. It'd be kind of like a 40-60 situation where I have to like, because I already have a lot of nukers for Live Arena and other places. So it's like, do I really need them? It's more of a collecting thing. So I'd have to like come to terms, but I probably would cave in because it's a limited thing. So.
Okay. Zero, what about yourself?
I mean, I definitely would have been tempted to do something like that if it was like a guaranteed. I think, yeah, they probably would get more participation from that perspective. I think it's just a culmination of everything that they've got going on because, what they did this weekend with the Grand Infusion, Grand Infusion, of course, you got 6 champions in this one. And I want to say, I don't know if we've had 6 champions, maybe the Chaos Awakens one, but I feel like some of them were like 4 or 5 champions, right? So we got all that going on. Plus, we got potentially a Halloween fusion coming up. And we know there's a Leo and possibly a Raphael event coming up. So I just think they're trying to squeeze too much in at one point in time, personally. But I probably would have considered going for it, yes, if they'd done a guaranteed. I'm starting to more and more not like the 1 out of 100 situation, and of course that ends at like 4 a.m. my time. So it's like, do I sacrifice my real life time and my job that I just started that requires my full time and attention? Because I'm still learning, right? I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. to do that, and I don't want to burn all my resources to not get anything. So I think Plarium should strongly consider. I mean, they see the numbers. Maybe they have the books and they can see the numbers, but they have taken away the ability to do the guaranteed champ from pulling shards. Like we haven't had one of those events. What is about a year? I want to feel like, right?
Yeah.
And they've kind of just removed that. I know it's like card flips now and stuff like that. They've migrated into other things, which is essentially the same thing. But I would love to see them bring it back personally. I think I probably would have gone for it.
Okay. Chat, let me find out from you guys. Would you care for more shard or guaranteed events with the way that they've been doing them now with the paths such as like the April or the Titan card path that we're going to have for Raph or the Leo event that we're supposed to have? Or would you prefer to just have like, hey, 100 shards guaranteed, get your champion, that type the situation? Because I feel like while that way is easy, straightforward. We get a few more rewards with the new ways that they've been doing the guaranteed, but they have been a little more expensive. I will say that. Gestal, what about you, man? If this guy was the guaranteed, if they had just said, "Hey, instead of the 1%, we're gonna open it up to everybody," would you have spent for him? Would you have gone for him?
Yeah, I would 100% gone for him. Exclusive champ, Void. I know he's not like super sexy, but I always have the FOMO anyway, so I would have definitely gone for him if it was like 100% I got him. I also think if they had swapped, like we were nervous about them doing, if they had made that Leo instead of Shredder in the chase, I think it would have been a much different story. I think people would have I think those numbers would have probably been over 20 on like every single tournament, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of it had to do, the lackluster of this had to do with like people not being super into Shredder, but being more into, Leo and the rest of them. So people were like, yeah, well, I'm going to hold off on this and wait for the guaranteed stuff down the line. I think that hurt this event. But I guess I'm glad it did, because hopefully it'll push them away from doing these in the future. Because if it was the other way around, we'd be having a much different discussion. Because I would have gone for a Leo. Yeah.
Right. Right. I think everybody's gonna go for Leo, and definitely. I mean, I am. My bigger worry, because we were expecting Leo to be a path event, is that it's it may have changed, right? Because
I think they could still do a path event, though.
They can still do a path event, and I mean, we have 3.5, almost 4 weeks for the event to finish, so definitely could be a thing there.
Yeah, it's like normally a 3-day event anyway, right? So they could.
Usually, when it's for a champion, yeah, it's a 3 to 4 day event.
Leonardo going to be pet event? They already confirmed that.
Well, I don't know, because nothing I've read, and I guess
I think they said it was just going to be guaranteed. Did they say path?
No, in the X, somebody asked them question. They said like, "What you guys taking the Plarium anger? If you are not doing the Leonardo guarantee," and they said like only the time is changed about the Leonardo, so it's a pet event. I can send you a screenshot if you want. Give me 1 sec.
I would love to, because I'm gonna share something here that we got in content creator chat, which is about the Leonardo event. A dedicated event for Leonardo is not canceled. It will take place at a later date, as it's already been confirmed. We always launch soul events because this was, a lot of us went pretty off on, especially in content creator chat, about the path event that came out now. So they're like, we always launch a soul event, and I don't think that they always launch a soul event for every single, but we'll let that go. They're not going to reveal the exact dates yet, as right now we're just waiting for the Leo event, but the TMT event campaigns run till November 13th. The team can launch a dedicated event up until that date. Here's the thing. I have a worry about what Plarium's definition is of a guaranteed event, right? While we can't confirm the specifics of the event yet, it will be a guaranteed event to obtain Leonardo. Now, if you all remember, Odin, they considered that a guaranteed event for one person out of every 50. And I guess my question to a lot of you guys is going to be, we'll start off with this one, is, in your eyes, what do you think a guaranteed event in Plarium's definition is? Ken, what do you think?
Event, bro, like it's obvious to be honest, in my opinion. Like, check the picture I sent you on the.
Is it a guarantee? When they say guaranteed event, does it mean that it's for everybody, or do you think it's a guaranteed just for one person?
Okay, like here is the thing. You are right. Guaranteed, maybe like 1% they are mentioned about the guaranteed. But if I was them, I will be choose my words a little bit more carefully, because it's gonna be like, if they do like that guarantee for the 1%, people who have money, it's going to be hard to explain themselves to the community, which is they're already looking for excuses to burn the flag. So I'm thinking guaranteed, if you have resources. I mean, pet event like the Raphael, right? Guarantee Soulstone is already confirmed today, and it's gonna be like that. So if you have resources, you get them. By the way, they can still do pet event. Like instead of the 20 secret, 30 secret, they can do like 100 secret shard cost. That's also
Yeah.
still guarantee, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think they are gonna do something like that. So we will see, I guess.
Right. And
I want to believe it.
Chat isn't different. Chat's like, yes, technically a guarantee for one person is still a guarantee, not for the whole
Yeah.
community. And I feel like that's kind of the situation that we might run into. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? But again, my biggest worry is, hey, next week we're supposed to have a 2x primals for mythical champions. Not confirmed, but this is just the anticipation that's happening because we haven't had one for a while. And then they'd be like, oh, hey guys, by the way, here's your guaranteed. It's for the one person out of 50 that's going to wail on primals, right? So it's going to be absolutely crazy. And especially because now we have this event going on at the same time. So you could save them until Friday and not open them and, get some extra points out of that. Jay, what about you, man? What do you think the definition of Plarium is for a guaranteed?
Yeah, as much as I would like them to do the right thing, right? Guarantees basically, hey, it was available to get. But they don't tell you how it's available to get. So they might actually, like, let's say they might do progressives or like a summon rush, make you use all your shards. And then, like, not even 3 days later, hey, guarantee using shards. And it's like, dang. That's why you got to save everything. That's, because you never know what it's going to be. I have chicken saved up. What if it's champion training? What if it's champion chase? Everyone should be saving literally everything. But there's all this stuff going on, for April. I got April lucky, so I don't have to worry about this Titan event. But like, the Grand Knight, I've been skipping him so I can save. I've been waiting all this time. But yeah, I don't hopefully they do the right thing and they make it a path, because from what we've seen or heard, there's something about a swordsman, right? Or samurai path. But let's just see. Hopefully, if it's some crazy like champion chase, it's gonna be toxic as hell. Because you're just not gonna win it. There's always gonna be someone else who's gonna be better. Like, you could spend 1,000, you probably might even have a chance, like legit. So it's just oof if they do that. Hopefully they do the right thing and do a hero's path.
Okay. Zero, what about you, man?
Yeah, when we had the Chaos Awakens event, and then after we ended our podcast or the stream, right? You pinged me and you were like, "Holy crap! I didn't realize. Why didn't we talk about this? We had an opportunity for everybody in the game to win. Every single one of those champions were guaranteed, right? So, and then whether that was a card flip or whatever, but they did not do a champ chase, from my understanding. And yeah, we all got the champion and got the reward and stuff like that. And the crazy thing about that is we can still pull those champions today, right?
Right.
So I think when they do these collabs, more so than ever, they should absolutely, when they say guarantee, make sure that everybody has a shot to win it. Not 1 in 100. That's not everybody getting a shot. Yeah, guaranteed 1 out of 100 person gets it. That's not a guarantee. So I need to see more like they did at the Chaos Awakens event, where everybody has a chance to get it. Now, we're on the path to getting April. We've got Michelangelo and Donnie if you went for the fusion. Yeah, and if they do Leo, like another Hero's Path, just like they did with Granite, maybe. And then, of course, Raphael card flip, which I haven't heard the news, so feel free to fill me in on that. So if they do it that way, then I'm all for it. Go Plarium, go. But if they do flip that card and it's a 1 out of 100, that's dirty and wrong, and they should stop saying guaranteed, because that's really not a guarantee.
Right. Gestal, what about you? If it's just a 1 person out of 50 that gets it, do you consider that a guarantee in Plarium's eyes? Do they scot free? Do they get away scot free with it?
I mean, if there's precedent where they have called it guaranteed and it was a 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, then I guess that's how they view it. And my eyes, I 100% don't think that is a guaranteed event. They probably, if that is the case, I guess I haven't seen it, or I don't really remember that. But if that is the case, then I think they should stipulate like guaranteed for a tournament winner, not guaranteed. Like guaranteed to me means like all, like it's a very encompassing term. If you're saying like, yeah, I would say you have to be more specific if you're not trying to guarantee it to the public.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. But if they have done it in the past, then I guess it's a possibility. So that would suck.
Right. So this is what was posted on Twitter. Risky business you guys are going with. If there is no guaranteed path for Leo, now expect a lot of pissed off players and quitting. There will be plenty of time to come out and say there will be no event for Leo, but all that was addressed with dates. We are addressing the dates because there are only incorrect things in the event, not canceled. Don't worry, the TMT integration will last until the middle of November, so there's still plenty of time for the event and others. Again, my biggest thing here is I want clarification on, will it be a guaranteed event for everyone, or will they do it as just a one? That is the biggest problem for me, because again, I could see them saying, hey, the Shredder was a guaranteed event for that one person that got it. Odin was a guaranteed event for that one person that got it. Naragari Archer was the guaranteed for that one person that got it during champ training. So with that said, I really hope that there is not that way that they decide to go where it's just one. I hope that they do stay with the path event. And I mean, I've already said it. It will not come out in their favor. It won't be good at all if they go ahead and change the path now. You want to change the date, fine. Gives the player base more time to, recoup resources and be able to have some shards so they don't have to use anything. But yeah, I really hope that they keep this the same way. We got Mr. Sheeny over on Twitch. Big shout out to Sheeny. Welcome back to the community, brother. Glad to see you playing Raid again. Guys, if you aren't following Sheeny, make sure I will post his YouTube channel here in just a second. Go give him a sub over on the YouTubes. All right, so with that in mind, a guaranteed for Leo is still in the works. We don't know whether it's going to be for the 1% or if it's going to be for everybody. We're all anticipating that it's still going to be a path event. They haven't changed that yet, but again, at this point, we know Plarium. We've been playing for 6 years, so we have to be, I don't want to say careful, but we have to be aware of the situation. Moving on to our boy, let me get to the next screenshot, sorry. Moving on to the next event, which is going to be coming tomorrow, is the not the doorkeepers, not tomorrow, sorry, Tuesday, the path for the deck event, right? Let me pull up the screenshot here while I get it. For some reason, it just didn't want to work. There we go. All right. So this Thursday, October 14th, we're planning to launch a Hothead Deck of Fate event where you can get the chance to get Raphael and some other valuable goodies. It is going to be a Soulstone and getting artifacts. There is no boosted chances on the Soulstones, guys. None whatsoever. They have not announced that. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't from now until then say, hey, we're going to do that, but there is none as of this point. During the event, you'll be able to collect 30 fragments under the green cards, 40 fragments under the rare cards, and 30 fragments under the epic cards. there is going to be a total of 100 pizza points. So we'll touch up on the pizza points in just a minute here, because the April Path event, or the Path event that's currently here for the Soulstone, is absolutely hot trash. That said, is this event you're planning to go for? And if so, why? Because there is nothing else that we're getting on top of that. It's just Raphael. And I know that Raphael is a great champ. I've gotten myself stomped on by Cruisin', who I thought was trolling me, who came out with like 4 of the turtles. It literally just destroyed my whole team. That said, Mr. Ken, will you be going for this event?
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Only thing is holding me, which is a little bit holding. I still don't think it's going to happen. So, Raphael asking us to open our Soulstone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's also a very small chance Leonardo asking the same thing.
Fair point.
You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Leonardo going to be short. I don't think Plarium that's small. I don't want to believe that. So, because of that, I'm actually thinking to go for him. We actually discussed that a little bit on my stream earlier, a couple of days ago. I called Raphael not a great champion, you know, in the Go second team, but he can be still great, you know, especially we know the Leonardo guaranteed going to be happen, and guys, Turtle can work together. And Raphael is another great DPS champion alongside with the Leonardo, you know, like, because Michelangelo is great DPS, but arena-wise, Raphael is way more better. So you guys can, worst case scenario, you guys can use them together in the same team. That can work, you know. Besides that, Raphael alone can be very strong DPS as well. His multiplier is solid in the speed team, but not a gold second champion. But thankfully, since that leak is leaked a month ago, you know, by the Plarium, I was saving my Soulstone shard as much as possible. So I actually have a bunch of the Soulstone saved right now. It should be no problem for me to get the Raphael. I think I will try. And hopefully Leonardo not going to ask the same thing. Then I will be big F actually. Hopefully not.
Yeah, you'll be SOL'd, as we say here in the States.
Yeah.
Shit out of luck. Jay, what about you, man? Will you be going for this event?
Yeah, definitely. Because of course I want all 4 turtles, and since this is a little bit easier than pulling, you know, progressive or prism crystal, so I'm totally down with flipping. I actually don't like. In the beginning, Deca fails were really annoying. They weren't as good, and then after, certain champions are really good. I got Frey off one. There has been some gear set ones as well that have been all right. As long as they don't make the crazy amount of points or allow us to pin cards as well. Things like little things that kind of go back to the player instead of being stingy. But in general, yeah, I'm gonna definitely go for. Hopefully, it's not crazy how many we need. I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it, because why would anyone not at least try?
Okay. So I anticipate this to be the same points that it was for Freya, where they nerfed him quite hard because he's a limited time champion. So do be expecting that, guys. There is no pinning on this event, or at least they didn't say anything about that. Zero, what about you, man? Will you be going for this event?
100%. Yeah. So, yeah, I've basically subjected myself to always holding my souls until these events. So regardless of the leak or not, I would have been holding my souls for this, because I've gotten, for the most part, every single time they've done this during these events that they've had, I've gotten the Freya. Was it Grachos, the dude that looks like Diablo or whatever from the last one. I can't remember from the Alice event who was in that one, but for the most part, I've gotten every single champion out of this one, and I don't pull souls unless it's that, which, to be fair, might be to the detriment of my account as a whole, because there's a lot of champions I need either better souls for, or just souls in general, right? Like, I'm still waiting to pull my first Ember soul type thing. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna pull A because I need to pull the souls, and B, yeah, we're going for the guaranteed champion.
Awesome.
And final thought is Phoenix is so good, and Raphael reminds me of Phoenix. So I really want to be able to do a legendary version of Phoenix.
Okay.
Wait, Phoenix Turtle? I
Huh?
thought he's human. Is he turtle?
No. He's saying
Phoenix
that
is a
Phoenix is so busted good because of the block revive on the A1, and
Yeah.
Raphael
Oh.
has the A1 with a block revive as well too.
Yes.
So yeah,
He's fun.
definitely. I will say, I thought like Cruisin picked all 4 turtles. He was on Abbott's account, and I'm like, is he doing YouTube content or something? Like, there's no way he's messing with me on this. And I swear, bro, he just Mynias, Embrus, Marichka, I mean Fabian. I had no shot, none. Just block revived the shit out of me. Yeah, Armenian God was there. He's like, I watch Blazing get wrecked, literally. Gestal, what about you, man? Will you be going for this event?
Yeah, everyone was kind of down on Raphael to start, or I guess when when they all kind of came out, and I was like, man, he was one of the ones I really liked, mostly because of the Block Arrive A1. He is a little wonky to use, from what I hear. I haven't used him yet. But yeah, I mean, 100% going for him. Block Revive A1 is disgusting. Block Revive in general in Live Arena is so strong right now because you have to go against like I don't know, Theodosia and Galather every fight. So if you are able to get those Block Revives off, it's like a counter, obviously, to these to all these annoying support mythical champs. So super big, and I just want to shout out my boy Rip Red, who hangs out in the stream. He has had all 4 of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pretty much since the beginning, and he has been dominating Live Arena, all arena with them. So I have known about this, how good they are, for a while. For like 3-4 weeks now. He's just been like same thing. Like people thought he was trolling, like you, Blaze, and he would just destroy everybody.
Yeah,
They are
honestly,
good, man. They are really good all together. It's crazy. They're just always attacking.
So that's a chat from you guys. Are you going to be going for this event to get yourself that guaranteed? Do you have the resources? I mean, I'm sitting on, I think it's 10 of the big boy Eternal Soulstone, so I'm going to pop those. Those are going to be the best points for this. I've been saving these for
so good.
ever. I'm just like, every time there's like an event, I'm like, I want to pop them. I'm like, no, I gotta wait. It is so hard. Paradox, thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate that so much, brother. Thank you. So yeah, I hope that you guys do go for him. I mean, he is a fun champion to play with. So I know he's going to need a soul, but hopefully we'll pull the soul for him while we're going for this event. Let's back up a little bit here. And I know this is not going to be something you guys want to see, but the Doorkeeper's Path event, 400 pizza points. Holy shit. That is absolutely insane. This basically locks the champion behind this path. If you miss out on any points on this path other than the 150, if you missed out any other events, you pretty much lost out on April. And I think I want to say this is the first time that they have gone this heavy into the pizza points, right? 400 in one event is absolute craziness. I think I've seen them go as far as 250. But Ken, are you going to be going for this event?
I mean, thankfully, Titan event, I mean, April and the Granite, both of them, I'm not really interesting to get them. So it was for me easy decision. I still opened my Void Shard on the last Friday because I thought I'm close to Mercy for a while. I still didn't get lighting. I don't know what's going on, but I keep scamming myself, I opened for the closet, but no luck, unfortunately. I got 19,000 point for the Hero Pet, but I didn't open for the Hero Pet, so it was my personal thinking. But if we want to get this Champion Soul or the Titan Point, actually we are talking about Titan Point, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's extremely high. And even maybe you don't worry about the current one because, like I said, April is not really worth it in my opinion. It doesn't mean let's say in the future they are going to do more juicy champion and they are going to do the same recruitment. They can still do that for 100. I think this is the new standard now. We should expect that for the future pet event as well. I wasn't expecting 400, man. Like, not gonna lie, I got like, what? You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
prepare yourself, guys. Like, if they do that for the April, they can do worse, more than this for the better champion in the future. So
Yep. I agree. I think, and for myself, I think one of the things that I did is I picked up the points straight from the shop. It was honestly probably
way cheaper, yeah. Yeah.
than buying some of the shards. Although I did get tempted to go for a couple of champions, but that's nor here nor there. Jay, what about yourself, man?
Since I already got, April, I was pulling for Raphael for Sacreds. I didn't get the Raphael, I got an April instead. So I'm not really doing this Tine event. I'm just doing little events here and there, just trying to save resources, like even energy. I was getting ready for the Raphael whenever that was coming, and it's coming soon. But yeah, just this, when I saw this, I was just like, bro, the first thing that came to my mind was like RIP free to play players. Like, if you haven't been saving or you're new to the game, what is this? This is like dingling something at them and being like, oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to get all this. You might want to break your free to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good look.
Right.
It's just so crazy of a path. I was just like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah, and imagine trying to go for the 5-star blessing too. Like, oh man, there's just so much in this. And mythical stuff. We have relics, you have pizza points, you have the 5-star blessing. Damn.
Well,
It is insane.
it is, especially because I don't think the 5-star soul's worth it for this guy. I think I'm going to stop at the 4-star and call it a day.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would do too if I was going to go for it. I skipped the fusion, so I have I didn't want to, but I'm like, damn, I had to. I just hope they, if it's a crazy champion, I can understand, right? Like, but like, this is just, I think, a little too aggressive. They went a little too crazy, but you gotta be disciplined and not just go too hard, because you gotta start saving. But yeah, I didn't go for it. I barely even got. I think I got like two points, and I just stopped completely on the path.
Yeah, and I'm reading some of the chat here, and they're like 400 points in this event and 100 points in the Deck of Fate event. Literally, if you miss those two events, you don't get April, right? I mean, if you miss this event, you're not going to get April. But there is such a huge disparity between the points from a 4-star to a 5-star on this guy, which is absolutely insane, especially because, okay, a 5-star blessing, you can pick Crushing Rend, or you can pick something else that's going to be, really useful for him to proc. But he doesn't require accuracy, or at least I wouldn't build him with any accuracy. That's just a huge spike in points. Chat, how far did you guys go for this event? Did you go all the way for the 5-star soul? Did you guys just go for the relic materials, as I did, or did you just go for the pizza points? I'm curious to see how many of you guys went for what exactly. Mr. Zero, what about you, man? 400 pizza
honestly,
points.
I thought this was freaking beautiful. I thought this was absolutely beautiful, and I know y'all are thinking I'm crazy, but I thought this was one of the easier ones to do, and I got all but 160 points. Now, keep in mind, you can, if you're still going for April, you can skip up to 250 points. So I probably skipped the two on the left, the two on the far left, which I think was 40 and 100, or 60 and 100.
Yep.
But I thought this was actually stupid easy, because you had to go grab the 2 keys if you wanted to go get the 4-star soul for this dude. And you're right, there is a disparity, but it's on the cheaper side to go get the 4-star than it is to get the 5-star. So that's what I did. I went and grabbed the 4-star, and you get some just running your dungeons anyway. You get some extra points in there as well. So really, I only pulled 8 sacreds. I think yesterday, just because of the event that's going on, I might have pulled like 3 ancients for my dailies or something like that. That's all I pulled, and I was able to get, you said 400 points minus 160, whatever the math is on that, 240 points plus the 4-star for this dude. And I'm just glad we got a chance to go get this dude, because the last HP nuker, which is Ishiyama, they only did a champ chase event and only 1 out of 100 people could go get it. And I know we talked about that heavily. It's like there isn't an attack up or a defense up that can help attack and defense based nukers. You don't have that with HP. So you absolutely, if you want to make this dude do damage at a bare minimum, you need the 4-star soul for this dude. So I'm 100% happy with this event. I didn't think it broke the bank at all whatsoever. 8 sacreds, and I was able to get 240 points for April, and I look at that as, hey, I'm getting an April down the line, and got the 4-star soul for this dude, and I'm good with it.
That's a typical pay to win answer right there, boys and girls. Typical pay to
Hey,
win.
I hadn't paid. The only thing I'm paying for is a $9 or $10 a month gem pack. And I'm going to convert those gems into this Sand Devil thing to go get that free Prism Shard pool. That's the only thing I'm paying for right now.
We'll talk about that one, but I don't know that event's going to be very costly. Again, guys, big shout out to the Curse One for the raid. Make sure you guys go follow both him and Paradox over on Twitch. I put the links in chat, so make sure you guys go give those lovely gentlemen a follow. All right, Mr. Gestal, what about yourself, bro?
I actually, when I saw how many points were in it felt like a swift kick to the old nuts. It was 400 points is a lot, man. Like you are definitely going for this event then, right? But kind of what Zero said, after I started doing it, it really wasn't horrible. And I was able to pick up the 4-star soul, and I got all 400 pizza points. So I guess at the end of the day, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So at first I thought it was horrible. And then I'm kind of more on Zero's side. Yeah, pay a little more pay to win, obviously, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Just hearing 400 was like kind of mind blowing. Have we ever had that much in like one event? Like, I don't even feel like they've ever had 400 pizza points in like a single event ever. So it was just just strange, I guess, in that sense. I also feel like they're a bit rushed to kind of get some other stuff in, so maybe that's why this is somewhat like this. But whatever. It worked out. I had I forgot to run my energy the night before the whatever the heck the Dungeon Divers is called now, Gear Hunters.
Gear Hunters.
Yeah. I forgot to run my energy. I had it all pooled up and ready to roll, and I just forgot to run the stupid I forgot to run it for the Gear Hunters. So I missed that, whatever that amount was. I think it was 50 or 60. I missed that on that. So I had to go for the 400. So I just went for it.
Okay. Speaking about somebody who really, really loved this Titan Path event, we got Mr. King Copium in the chat over on the Twitch side. Guys, go give him a follow over on Twitch, and make sure you give him a nice swivel kick in the rear end. He posts like one YouTube video, and then he stopped posting after that. So yeah, let's get back on him and make sure that he pushes that YouTube content again. That said, again, this is a very, very heavy. They leaned into the monetization for this, into the greediness of trying to have the player base spend their resources a lot. And the thing is, it's not like a simple event like the Deck of Fate event, which is, hey, we're just one resource, 2 resource, use, get the deck, get in and get out. It's a 2-week long event. So it's, I feel like doing it at this point, it kind of traps you in, right? You can't just skip everything here and say, I'm going to go for it. Especially because now this is going to hit you in on the next summoning event, which is going to be primals. And I swear it's going to be primals, because every person here has been asking, when is the next 2x primals for mythical champions? When is the next 2x primals for I know Ken every day is like, hey, Banana, Ace, when is it going to be? When are we getting? I'm sitting on like 50 primals. Come on. And he's free to play, and he wants to. How many?
I have 55, I believe, right now.
55.
I never been. They usually doing like real tweaks on the primal chart. Whenever I got a 30, 35 primal, which equal like 3 months. It took us like 3 months to collect them. They are late, bro. You stop there later.
You know, I'm getting a lot of people that are telling me like, hey, yeah, I got like a 40 pack, and I got 2 mythicals out of it. And I'm like I'm sitting in chat with Armenian God and Morgan, and they're like, oh yeah, last one I did, I got like 50 shards and I got 2 mythicals out of it. I'm like, bro, I'm literally going into mercy for every single one of mine. It's absolutely insane. That, you know, anyways, that said, this event, very, very costly. I do not like it. Unfortunately, you know, I want to go for April, and it's a got 'em catch 'em all mentality. And I think that down the line, we do need to have a discussion about the got 'em catch 'em all mentality, because it can get you in a lot of trouble. So, and we're not talking about, you know, in game trouble, but we're talking like financially ruin you type of trouble, where you're spending thousands of dollars that you may not have. You may be spending your rent money to try to get some of these champions because it's an addiction. So with that said, let's talk about one last thing here, which is the God, I had it here. Well, let's give him some credit here real quick for coming out with the April event, or with the problem with April, and addressing it like literally the next business day. I will say I'm happy. I have not checked to see if it works, but I will give them kudos for not waiting and saying, hey guys, we know that this is a problem, we'll fix it down the line, we don't know. They actually address the issue right then and there. So I will say that that's a good thing, that this was done. I was really anticipating that they were going to wait out on it. Did the decision of you going for April or not going for April, because this was fixed, was that affecting you at all, Zero?
No, because I didn't really know it existed until we talked about it last week. And between the weeks, though, Troll from Below, who's in chat, awesome member of the Brew Crew, and of course all you guys as well when y'all are streaming. But she already had pulled April. She got lucky, and I did a video on her. There's some other things that may or may not be broken about her. Should we discuss that? I mentioned it on Friday and showed it off, and chat told me to shut the hell up and not say a word. So y'all tell me if you want to know how good April is or not, and what's broken about her still.
I gotta
I want to know.
What? Hold on. What? Go ahead, Zero.
All right, so pull up her kit real fast. Read her A3. You read it out. Read the A3.
Okay. April Bannerlord, right? No. Yes?
Sacred Order. Sacred
Yeah.
Order.
See, that's how much attention I pay. All right, her A3 places an increased accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 20%. Grants an extra turn on a 4-turn cooldown with 1 book into it.
Yeah, 4-turn cooldown. Grants next turn, so technically it's a 3-turn cooldown. Now, what would you think happens when this skill happens, when she goes to take her next turn? Should her increased accuracy be at 1 tick, or should it still be at 2 tick?
It should be at 1 tick.
All right, and that is what happens to the other buffs on her. However, when you use this skill, it is still 2 ticks. So that means she takes her and does her A2, which is the nullify and the cool stuff, right? Leaving her with 1 tick of increased accuracy for her A1, which also places debuffs, which is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie. And also, I've seen her do anywhere from 25 to 35,000 damage at about 350 crit damage and only like 3,700 attack, right? So she actually hits pretty decently. She wasn't built for damage in what I've built out. And if you have not gone for her or you skip these pizza points, I'm just throwing it out there that increased accuracy stays out for 3 turns, not 2 turns. And it is absolutely absurd and awesome. If you go get her, it's a good thing, right? Because you want her to place those debuffs.
Right. So I'm curious to see if that's actually just a glitch or if that's how it's supposed to actually work. So
Well, I will say if that's how it is intended to work for continuity's sake, then they need to say places an increased accuracy buff on this ally for 3 turns. But that's not what happens. It goes on for 2 turns, and she goes and takes her next turn, and like I increase accuracy or increase attack or the other buffs, block debuffs in this team that I built were on her. Those took a tick down. The increased accuracy did not take a tick down. So I think it's a bug, but it functions awesomely. So if they go to fix that, I would love to see them say increase and put it on for 3 turns, honestly. Because I think that's how it should work for her, because she's doing debuffs on her A1 or
A2. Yeah, I think I'm getting so many DMs here.
Tell me to shut up.
No. It's I'm just getting DMs about a whole bunch of sleuthings. Okay, so Jay, back to, having this fixed. Did I guess you already got April, so it didn't change a lot of things for you, but were you more likely to build her now that they fixed her, and or were you, well, prior to them fixing her, or were you just like, nah, now she's just gonna stay to the side?
Hypothetically, if I didn't pull her, would this have like changed my mind? Most likely not, because I already know how Plarium is. If something is super OP, they're gonna fix it, right? They did that with Nogdar. They did that with other champions. So I already knew, like, oh man, wait, this is kind of breaking the game a little bit. It's probably gonna get patched very fast whenever they get the chance. Plus, if they ever release new champions in the future that have Nullify as a mechanic, you don't want that to mess up the future bosses that are coming, that we know is coming, right? So they have to prep for that in retrospect in general. They don't want other bugs happening in Live Arena and a whole bunch of other stuff, so you gotta, work with the bosses. I think that is pretty cool, but I don't think Fire Knight needs even more ways to down them, We don't want to make it too easy. That's the whole point. They made it hard in the first place. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see, but it definitely needed to be fixed. It didn't change my mind. Even if it doesn't work or did work, I would have still, went for her. But luckily, I have her, so I'm already in the, a good spot.
Okay. Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, I just want to say, if Plarium watches this and they do go and change that, I don't want it to be a shadow fix. I want them to actually tell us that they changed it. Just throwing that out there as well, because I feel like they have made changes to other things, Kentum's specifically, and the way their hex blood works, and I don't think they ever announced that they adjusted that. So if they do adjust this, especially if people are going to go play with it, they need to tell us.
Right. Everybody in chat's like, hey, we got Platinum Reset in like 50 minutes, guys. Get ready. Ken, are you pushing Plat Reset right now while
No, dude, I'm gonna retire it now. Like, I cannot do plat push right now. Like, if after everything happened all the week, like, I need to be rest on this time. I'm no plat, bro. I'm sorry. It's over, guys. GG's. We push platinum since last 4 or 5 years, so I'm sorry, but it's not for me. It's at midnight for me. I cannot push. I'm sleeping.
Okay. Speaking about Ken, the Nullify change that was fixed, did that affect you in any sort of way of going for April?
I mean, Nullify debuff was working great against the Fire Knight Hard 10, right? But thankfully, I have a double GNAT, so I don't have a problem in my account. But lots of people, like Fire Knight Hard 10, still quite a difficult content, guys. Especially if you don't have a specific champion like a GNAT. For me, this bug was totally okay. Like, I actually want them to make a announcement, statement. Hey guys, yes, there is she's working like that, guys, okay? Like, I was totally fine with that if they leave her like that. Because people who struggle on the Fire Knight Hard 10, they can get her, right? She's a guarantee right now, Titan event. And they can fix their problem. It's a great for them, like one more solution for the Fire Knight Hard 10. And like Jay mentioned, future bosses, they said they are future bosses are coming. This Nullify going to make a problem. They can put the passive skill Nullify debuff not working on the future bosses, so they can fix like that. Like to be honest, like it wasn't a big problem in my opinion, but they decided to fix it, guys. So I'm sorry. It's yeah, like if I was a player struggling on the Fahrenheit Hard 10, and if I was seeing like April as a solution, but after this announcement about the fix, then there is literally no point to get her, in my opinion.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Wait, what's the original question? We're going on so many.
Was the fixing of the nullify buff
Oh.
you know, a reason why you would not go for April?
Yeah, like I said, kind of said last week, I don't feel like that change was that it didn't change my mind, because I didn't really feel like it was something that was gonna stay in there. It just seemed kind of crazy that it basically nullifies all bosses. Like, why even use anyone else except for her? I can't imagine they would do that. The only way they could do that, I guess, is if they'd release another champ or two with that ability, which will come eventually. But I don't know. I get it. It didn't change my mind. I'm glad they did it. It's kind of like I said last week. Like, they have to come out tomorrow and tell us if they're changing it or not. It's not a difficult thing. They didn't have to change it right away. They just had to tell us. And I'm glad they did it.
Okay. DK, I'm interested here because you're talking about it's still worth going for the guaranteed relic. Are you talking about the doorkeeper for the 100 relic fragments? Because it's not a guaranteed, it's only a 20%. And as other players in the community, such as Armenian God will tell you, he's probably crafted 24 or 30 legendary ones out of mythicals, and he just recently got his first mythical one. I think was a couple of days ago when we were hanging on Discord. So unless you're talking about, I don't believe that collecting all the turtles is a mythical one. Is it a mythical one that you get from collecting all the turtles? Because I thought it was the one that says you can't crit before if the champion is under 15%. So I'm curious if there's something I'm missing here, because if there is, since I'm definitely pay to win, I would go for it. But I think it's whenever nope, that's not it. Yeah, so this is the one that you get for going for all the turtles. Okay, yeah, okay, so we're talking about that. Yeah, so going for that, yes, that's still something to get.
You still need a shredder too for that.
Right, you still need a shredder.
Yeah, which is
so
not
yes.
guaranteed yet.
Right. Well, it was a guaranteed according to Plarium for 1 out of every 50. Okay, come on, we got to make that.
Sorry.
My
right. Leader was 25k. You tell the same.
Well, what kind of free to play content creator are you? Aren't you sitting on like 50,000 gems?
And not 50,000 by the 15,000. 15,000?
He
got 25,000 points. Did you heard me? It was Samurai.
I heard you. You could have
like,
gotten
I'm gonna buy agent chart. What you are gonna get?
All right. So let's talk a little bit about why Plarium refuses to be I guess transparent with the community, right? For a lot of us out here that are gamers, we've played other games like Watcher of Realms. I know Gestal's playing that now. And Watcher of Realms is a really good example of a game that releases its information, is transparent on what's going on weeks in advance, right? So that the player base can prepare. If they find a good deal, they may be enticed to spend. But I was doing some research and I was trying to see what would be some of the main reasons behind. And I know the number one reason is going to be the money, right? If they create the FOMO, they create the FOMO. But I wanted to have a discussion on some of these things that came up. So number one comes in at maximizing monetization and panic spending, basically FOMO. Perhaps the strongest argument that relates to the physiological levels underpinning free-to-play monetization, especially leveling FOMO, fear of missing out, and impulse and spending without key events thresholds and requirements until the event goes live, or leaving the cost value surge of the players are already invested. Developers increase the likelihood that players will exhaust existing resources in mid-events and feel compelled to purchase premium packs. And I will say that there's been a couple of times where I haven't really looked for the best deal. I'm just like, shit, I need to complete this. I need something. And I end up buying some of the worst deals ever. And that is a problem, for somebody that may not be able to afford that. Commonly known as panic spending. Transparent events and calendar costs breakdowns would dampen the effect by letting resourceful players optimize, save, cherry pick, and only go for the most rewarding events, potentially reducing short-term sales. So again, the number one reason that comes in is they create the FOMO. They don't want to let you know anything. They want you to keep spending with everything that they do, enticing in the middle of the week. And then they, boom, shove a really good event at you, and you're just like, crap, I really need to spend. I don't want to ask if this is right or wrong, because everybody will have their own opinion. And personally, for myself, I don't think that it's right. What I want to ask is, how many times do you feel that this particular example has happened to you? Chad, I want to hear from you guys, and then let me start off with Jay first.
Yes. Plarium is experts of FOMO. I play a lot of different games. A lot of games have limited stuff, but it doesn't feel as strong as it does in Raid. Because other games have reruns. They might return something. They might have a better mercy system, maybe a wish list for characters, lower cost to get the character you're trying to get, so it's a little bit cheaper than Raid. But FOMO, man, they just, I feel like they 99% everything's FOMO. And if you don't FOMO, they're like, all right, it's cool. And you're just like, all right, yeah, good. I'm just gonna skip this. They always have something else that you just can't skip. So you're put in this position like, wait, because I didn't skip this, now I'm FOMO'd into this. I think FOMO, I can understand it's a business and they're trying to make, to reach certain numbers per quarter, but at the same time, there's a balance between wanting people to like, okay, we want to invest, we want to get a skin, we want to get this character, versus, oh my gosh, like I have to, because if I can't even play this game. Right. And that's the only where I draw the line. That's why, I have slowly dropped a lot of my spending in Raid, and even playing. Like I just play a little bit, move on to the next thing. I don't invest too much. So maybe if they can reduce this, but from what I've seen over the years, right, from all the things they've been added into Raid, it doesn't look like they're slowing down. It looks like they're adding more ways to get FOMO. So they're masters of it. You just have to be very disciplined and save a lot and skip a lot and get only the things that are most important for your account. I wish Plarium didn't have to do this. I wish they would have focused on other things like maybe more skins or voiceover for characters, other things that are not pay to win, right? I wish they would have gone that way, but look where we are now. So,
right. And again, I'm not defending that this is a right or wrong. For myself, I think this is not great. But it has catched me a few times. Let's go to Gestal next. Gestal, what about you, man? Have you found yourself FOMOing into particular events and having to spend to try to complete them or get them?
Nah, I've never been FOMO'd ever, bro. I'm like the strongest willed person in the entire world. I've never had FOMO ever.
Okay.
Nah, I get FOMO every week in this stupid game, man. It is, to me, it's the worst part about the game. Like I wish like Watcher of Realms, I think, does it right. Like I don't feel I'm not super into Watcher of Realms. I don't even follow like a content creator for him. I'm just playing it very on the side. very free to play at this point. Just trying to manage resources for the next thing. And I know there's like a Wukong event coming out. I know he's like insanely good. So they told us that, like you said, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, or someone told me, like it's not like I knew about it. It's like, just hold on to these. The Wukong's coming out. Like, so it's they tell you well in advance, and I think that's great. And like they had the chance to do it for this turtle event, and then they're like, oh, wait a sec, maybe the leak isn't maybe 100% what it is. Like, why not just tell us? I don't think it would. I only think it would benefit them. I only think it would benefit them. And here's my hopes, because I would say this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle event was probably the last thing that was like really truly worked on. I would say 6 months ago, right? Like they were probably working on this prior to 6 months ago. So I would say this was probably maybe the last major project that was under the umbrella of the casino group, whatever they were called again. And now Aristocrat. Thank you. Now we're under NTG, right? Maybe now they'll kind of go more towards the gamers. So hopefully, we'll see.
Okay. We got a question here for you, real quick, Gestal. The question is, what is your current opinion and situation of the relics? Do you think they need to be more accessible than what they currently are?
I mean, relics to me are the same thing as mythicals, are the same thing as blessings. Now the difference with relics is they're very inaccessible. You have Chimera, you don't get that many shots a week for them. Sometimes there are some events for fragments. They are very inaccessible, and I have one mythical relic, and I play a ton of this game. I try to min-max as much. I just got it, yeah. And I just got another 100 and just pulled another, I got a WoW sub, so now I have like 7 WoW subs, but, so yeah, it's just, this is how the game is though, like they'll put that next little carrot out there for you, and they'll make it near impossible to get so that all the Krakens are going to spend as much as they can to get it. And then they slowly make it easier to get. That's just how this game is. I don't like it. I don't like a lot of things about this game. There are a few things that I love about this game that keeps me playing it. So hopefully they could turn the tide on some of those other things, and they really could make this game last a long time. And I think those points, are some of the ones they should really look at. Stop trying to get a ton of money from the Krakens and start trying to be a little more accessible to the public.
Okay. And I will say, you totally had me there for a second, thinking that you weren't FOMOing, because I was like, you had it.
I'm an actor, bro. I live in LA, man. You don't know I'm an actor.
Right. I'm like, all right. But yeah. Question to you, Ken. Do you ever catch yourself FOMOing and spending more resources than you expected to in a particular event or anything like that? Because I know you're not gonna bust out the credit card.
I did actually, on the cat case. For the cat case, like I pushed myself a little bit more than I supposed to be do, and I collect this stupid legendary crafting material. And end of the day, I only have 2 cat case, and they was guaranteed. Like I hate it, to be honest. Like, but cat case was very strong, man. What can I do, right? I mean,
right.
And they said it's gonna be limited time, and recently they also said like they are gonna return it. So I did that, but for the spending money, I'm not spending money. So this part, at least I can limit myself. Thanks to the game is super expensive. So it's like, can you FOMO the Lamborghini? It's not the same thing, but you cannot FOMO the Lamborghini, right? Like you cannot buy. So it's like that for me, right? Because overpricing. But yeah, I can understand like people who like, I mean, it's like $10, $20 is not like really. I mean, it's like coffee money, right? So like, it can be a little bit harder for you guys, this FOMO thing. But if the champion behind the paywall, I cannot get it. That's literally, there is nothing I can do for it. So, but if they asking me to open my shards, existence shard, save it shard, spend my resources, they can still catch me on. So depends on the reward. It has to be very good reward too, like the cat case.
So FOMOing doesn't just mean we're gonna spend money. It could mean for
No,
a few
I mean
players
you can
spending
save your resources, and you
resources.
can, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Let me answer a quick question here from DK, who says, should they bring back or incorporate a way to get previous event relics, or should they stay locked after each event is over? I think we're all going to be in agreement here that they should not stay locked because of relics like the Cat's Gaze, which is very, very strong. As for bringing them back, they are going to be bringing them back in limited time events, but I'm going to ask you guys just quick yes or no. Do you think they should lock them after the event is over? Ken, what do you think?
Can you ask it again, man? I was replying something on the chat. Sorry.
Stop sending him feed pics. Whoever's sending him the feed pics, stop sending him the feed pics. Do you think that after these limited time events with the relics, the discovery relics are over, should they just stay out of the game permanently, or should they come back?
Definitely come back. Definitely
Okay.
come back.
Jay, what about you?
Yeah, because the thing is, not every player starts at the same time. So it's kind of like, what if a player like started early? He's like, hey, I wanted to get this, I couldn't get it because my account wasn't there, and maybe they didn't want to spend like $5,000 just to get there. So they're like, oh, I don't mind spending, but I can't spend that much to get to the point where I can get that thing. So it's good to have reruns. It's good to the way they did Ninja, bring it back. They need to always bring things back so that people can always, who come at a different time in Raid or in any other game, have an opportunity. Everyone should have an opportunity. Just like in real life, you can change your job, you can get a different car. You should always, in a game like Raid, you should always have an opportunity to, at least if you couldn't get it one time, you should be able to try to get it again. So yes, they should bring it back.
Okay. Zero, what about you? Should they lock them out or bring them back?
Yeah, I think especially for the relics, yeah, they should definitely bring those back, right? That's a little bit of a different thing. On this FOMO thing, I didn't answer this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you FOMO afterwards. I just needed because
okay.
they
Okay,
redeemed
good.
questions. So
Oh, gotcha.
Gestal,
Go ahead.
what about you? Do you think people should be able to get these relics again after the event is over? Or should they just be locked out?
Yeah, 100%. Great points already made. I was going to refer to Ninja coming back. So they brought stuff back in the past. I think they got to it. Cascades, like, man, I wish I had 10 of those things. They're so freaking good.
Right. All right. So back to the FOMO situation. Zero, have you been caught up in this?
Oh yeah, definitely been caught up in FOMO. Unlike Gestal, who's got a heart of silver.
Impervious.
Yeah, impervious. Yeah, right. No, yeah, 100%. I will say though, I think specifically for the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtle event, and whether that was the fact that they leaked what they leaked by accident or not, I do think that the FOMO that they generated behind the turtles have ended up hurting them. Evidence we talked about earlier was the Shredder event, people getting it for 3,000, 7,000 points, things like that. Because they're like, I'm not going to burn my resources on this. Shredder's not as good as Leo. Y'all FOMO'd us on this. We're going to hold out for the Leo. So I think, Plarium just needs to realize, and they go this freaking hard to generate FOMO, sometimes they can shoot themselves in the foot. So I hope they learn from this and recognize this, and maybe kind of slide that out. And then for me personally, couple things, right? So like new job and all, but commuting in and all that stuff, basically whatever time I used to have, I've cut out 10 20 hours a week of time that I would have had free to do whatever I like, right? And so like for me personally, I don't have time to do live arena, and I know I'm FOMOing myself. This is where it ties in on those chances for the mythical relics. But again, that 20% chance, and yeah, I've gotten 5-1, so I can't complain about that with the guaranteed legendary, if you will. But I've never pulled a mythical relic, and I just don't have the time to do live arena. It just takes too long with everything else that got in the game, and I really say that for what's coming in the future, right? So they're saying they're adding more areas to the game and stuff. So they really need to to look at that. I just want to make sure that gets said. And then for me personally, I've gotten to the point now where I have done the collect them all mentality and stuff. And maybe I just haven't taken the time because I don't have the time to build out all these different champions I've gotten. Yeah, I went and got Granite and got 4-star Soul. Cool. And yeah, he'll help me out in Dwarves. When am I going to take the time to build them? I don't have the time to build them. So I will say for me personally, my table is so full that the champions or the food is falling off at Thanksgiving time, right? The food's falling off the table for me personally. So I'm having less and less FOMO every day this game goes on.
Okay. So the second reason why I found why Plarium is being less transparent or would want to be less transparent is technical operations, the complexity. Raid's live ops structures is extremely dynamic with last minute changes on the fly, rebalances, adjustments, sometimes forced by unexpected bugs, economic exploits, and internal miscommunication, which we feel like that happens a lot. I think Ken's favorite thing is to say their service can't handle it, so we have a lot of issues. Publishing hard event calendars for thresholds in advance can backfire if late modifications are needed, resulting in broken promises, negative press, and angry rollback demands. Plarium may, for either right or wrong, that gives them less info in advance, perverses the flexibility and reduces the frequency of public reaction. Basically, what this means is, if they give us less information, they're least likely to have bad reactions towards the player base. The player base is least likely to be enraged. Now, I think for this, could be right or wrong. I'm going to lean more to, I don't think Plarium really puts this in their folder as why they do it. But I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Ken, do you think that the press, if they put the calendars out, do you think that if they then change something back afterwards, such as what they've been doing with this TMT event, they're going to get more lashback, and that's why they tend not to give us more things up in the future?
I mean, obviously, like, if they told us, like, Leonardo going to be guaranteed, which is they accidentally leak it, nobody going to open the shard on the Leonardo 15 expand. That's the, like, what kind of business model for them, right? I mean, you also need to think like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so you think it's possible that they aren't doing it because it would give them too much bad publicity if they did change it?
I mean, it's a bet for the business model.
Okay.
No, I mean, like, look at us. Like, most of the people not even open a shard on the 15 is because they know the guarantee coming. So,
right. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I guess it seems to make sense as a business sense that you'd want to at least have some sort of FOMO that they're not going to have it. On the other side, like, I feel like plenty of people realized or felt like there was gonna be a guaranteed and still went for him early. I guess just to have him early. I know. I certainly know the Krakens don't care about a guaranteed event. They're probably pulling shards regardless and probably just gonna pick it up anyway, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it really changes much. I don't know how much. Like, I don't know how much people play this game like the way I play Watcher Realms, where I'm going to loosely hear something, if at all, hear about an event coming up, right? So maybe someone's just pulling charge because they don't keep up as much as we do, and that's the base that they're kind of playing to and hoping for. So I guess I don't really know. But there's a bunch of different factors.
I'm reading chat here, and over on the YouTube side, Turtle says, if we knew what was coming down the line, we would probably skip a lot more events, just kind of like what Ken was re-emphasizing. Jay, what about you? Do you think they do it because they want to minimize the bad publicity?
Yeah, they're always trying to fix this stigma that Plarium is, super evil and like basically they only care about money. It's kind of weird. I treat Plarium like the government. They have a lot of workers. They're all doing their own little tasks. but they're just sometimes not good at what they do, right? Like, no offense, but like you have one person mess up and now that's miscommunication. This person, community manager, is trying to tell this person, but then you have content creators who can't read, and you start to wonder, do you even read, bro? And then they can't understand what
No, I
they've
don't.
said, and like, no, they said this, and then people make videos, and then the viewers are going, what? It's not coming. When then Plarium has to come and fix that mess up from the content creators telling misinformation. We actually didn't say that. We're changing dates. You see, it just trickles. It trickles. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff. And that honestly is what Plarium is. It's a lot of just jumbleness, and they're just trying to fix up little things here and there. From watching this game over 6 years, right? From way back to Stu Gaming and everything back then, when people didn't have cameras, to now where people are doing lots of collabs and we're seeing where the company's at and all these collaborations in game and raid. When you look at the difference of how the structure, they used to tell us a lot more in game. Now it's kind of like, well, we don't know yet. We're subject to change. Things are different in raid, and I think there could be slight truth to this, right? To some aspect, but not like 100%, like Puppet Master. I think there is some aspect to it, but most of it is just they just put people in positions, and sometimes people are not trustworthy. Maybe they might leak information because they might get paid or all this other stuff. One person doesn't know what maybe they don't mistranslate something. It causes a whole ripple effect and causes more problems for the company. We're just watching it live of them trying to make like this grand thing, but that these little things always just destroy. And it's just like, you can't even believe it. I've always said this back then, like years ago. They always shoot themselves in the foot. I'm like, bro, stop doing that. Just do the right thing. But it's like, nope. I used to think 4-head, 5-head. I was like, maybe they do it when the drama or something is like low. They want people to start talking, right? So they purposely do it to cause all this interaction, all these videos. So everyone's talking about raid, and then all of a sudden, boom, right? They market, that's like free marketing because everyone's talking about all the drama that's happening in raid. So I used to think like, dang, they must be doing this on purpose to get riled up and to get emotions, because emotions can cause you to what? Spend. So I don't know. It's a 50-50. It's interesting and to see how the dynamics of what they do. But I honestly think a big portion is just they need to get really good people in the positions they have, like really, really good. And then you'll see a lot more. They're just hiring people and putting in, and then you just see different things happening. They have good artists. We know they have good. They don't have really good developers. They need to test more, clearly, right? Because we as the community find more than they do. So they need to put really optimal people in better positions, and you'll see way better. Everything will be more communicated better. The game will be better. Less bugs. Not having to us find everything and then fix it for them. They're like, oh, thanks, and here you go. It's just it is what it is, I guess.
Okay. I do like how you called me out there by saying, do you read, and putting videos out there ranting about everything. I like how you put that jab in there. Zero, what about you, man? Do you think raid actually does this for try to mitigate bad publicity?
I mean, yes and no. I just think, I mean, if they're doing what Jay's saying, like 5D chess type thing, or 4D chess, whatever it's called, yeah, that's a different conversation. I just know that what I want to say about this specific topic is they have also, I feel like, weaponized their communications before too. They've told us things. So for an example of weaponization is if a guaranteed Leo event ends up being 1 out of 100, like we keep speculating is on the table. I know we talked about that earlier. I would consider that weaponizing the communications and increasing that FOMO, which is your first question, even more so because they're like, hey, we told y'all to go for those 15Xs and these, we got a Prism Soul thing going on. We told y'all to do these things and y'all chose not to do it. And yeah, there's a guaranteed only 1 out of 100. That to me is weaponizing communications. And if they start doing that more and more, like they have done in the past, it's going to be very, very upsetting.
Okay.
One thing I want to correct the record, and they did call me out in chat, and we tested it. I was talking about April O'Neil and the 2-turn on the accuracy. That I guess is how the design is, because they told me to look at both Marius and Estrid. Now, both Marius and Estrid have a 3-turn cooldown on their accuracy or their buffs they put on them. But they were correct. It does not, when they take that extra turn, does not decrease that buff that goes on them.
Okay.
at that time. Always just assumed, oh, it's a 3 turn, so it goes down to 2, and they get it for those 2 turns till it comes back around.
So self buffs.
That is not the case. Yeah, so
Okay.
April, I guess, is working as intended.
All right. Moving on to the next one here, which is strategic ambiguity and competitive consideration. The gaming market is increasingly competitive, and a major event design, especially for those tied to high IP volumes or monetization opportunities, are prime targets for reserving engaging by competitors. Plarium might see the value in making precise event schedules and milestones as a mechanic harder for rivals to copy in real time. So I guess for here, what we're talking about is Plarium maybe isn't being as transparent with us because they're worried that Watcher of Realms might do the same collaboration in their game, and that will pull the player base away. Do I think that that's a realistic thing? I mean, for IPs like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that, maybe you could make a case, but I think for day-to-day events, for guaranteed champions and stuff like that, for like a rollout of all this, I don't think that this is something that I would make an argument for. That said, Ken, what do you think? Do you think Plarium is not being transparent with us, or would this reason be a reason why they're not being transparent with us?
Transparent, you mean like about news?
About
Or
yes,
like-
about being transparent with the community about what's going to happen.
I mean, they are transparent. They are very transparent recently. I mean, they are leaking the stuff 1 month earlier. Like,
That's true.
like today as well. Like, they told us there's gonna be guaranteed deck of fate for Raphael. Then the people they give us embargo time for the content creator, I'm asking, and it is already appear on the Plarium play calendar before the
Yeah.
embargo. Like, they are leaking the stuff before us. Like, I don't know how is this things working really on their side, like, because it as a content creator, it also make you like things like that, guys. Like, what's the point of the making video then earlier? Because everybody gonna be know that, right? Then you need to change your content type. Instead of to give them like news, you need to like do, hey guys, this champion actually worth it, definitely go for it, because everybody know that. Like, I actually don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. We all getting the information at the same time, same for the players. I don't mind to be honest. I don't care really, but yeah, I don't know. But they need to be like more, like even to like we talking about Leonardo gonna be pet event or not. But just say it, man. Just say it, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, right? Like same for the deck of fate, Raphael. I mean, it was like little bit, like still not 100%. Though. Like people asking question, they're like, "Yeah, guys, there is going to be guaranteed event." What do you mean guaranteed event? Like what? 500 void chart? Like what?
Yep.
Like number 1 leader guaranteed? Like what? You are the luckiest person in the universe, so it's guaranteed for you. Like what?
Yep. I mean, another one chats here saying, maybe Godforge and other games like that could do the same type of collaborations, and that's why they won't do it. Again, I get the thought and mentality behind the collaborations, maybe. But again, I feel like for the day-to-day event stuff like that, like if they're gonna do guarantees over the next couple of weeks, like I don't think that this is one that they can use. But Jay, quickly, what about you? Do you think they would be doing it because they don't want competitors to copy what they're doing in their games?
It's interesting because when I first started playing Raid, or most people came into Raid in 2019, people were, like, yes, they copied some stuff from Summoner's War, but they say they wanted to make their game their own, right? They wanted to be innovators. I remember hearing their things they were saying, their vision. They were showing us the whole roadmaps of the whole game, and I was like, damn, this is going to be the greatest mobile game. And I was like, I want to be part of this. Even though people had a whole stigma of how negative Raid, scam, pay to win, blah, blah. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe if you're smart enough and you're maybe save resources or you invest small, this can turn out to be really good. Well, we're not going to put red stars. We're not going to do like Marvel Strike Force. We're not going to do everything they said they weren't going to do. They have actually done, but they've done it their way. Mm-hmm. So we've kind of come to terms with that as players. Like, dang, They said they weren't going to do it, but actually it's subject to change. They can always just change their mind. It's just not right now, right? So like key words. So I mean, for them it's all business. Whatever they need to do. If someone's doing something else, right? We didn't have free gear removal, but Theory Restart had a day one. Wuthering Waves had a day one. Other games are having it day one. So whoa, we got it all of a sudden, even though we've been asking for it, right? For how many years? So it's just like, it just goes to show you, certain things can actually push a company to do certain things. Oh wait, this game was doing red stars. Maybe we should do it. But how will we do the red stars? Oh, we'll do it into blessings. It'll be a little bit different. We can market that differentness. Right. So yeah, it's just you can see it. You can see it. But I guess this is a little bit more trick. This is a little bit more in depth. It's a harder question to like answer. I guess it's more opinionated. But yeah, I do think there's a little bit of truth in this as well. And I guess, in my opinion, the reason why I keep playing Raid and what I love is just I like to enjoy the game, and I hope they keep adding that, little things, even if it takes a long time, like the tavern and a whole bunch of other things. They need to address certain things to deviate all the other things. That's the problem. They're trying to that game has it, let me do this. That's not the big issue. The big issue is why, with all this investment, all these players, and all these years, are you waiting so long to do something that the game's been asking for since day one? So I think it's good competition. Honestly, I like playing other games, and I think it pushes Raid in the right position. Hey, screw it, because honestly, Raid needs to be a good game. But I play other ones, and honestly, it actually blows my mind how much more other companies are way more transparent, and it works way better. But right. Plarium also likes to use that little bit of secrecy to their advantage in terms of monetization.
Okay. Zero, what about you? Do you think Plarium is worried that
I don't think so. I mean, they have been in the game for 6 years at this point, and we as players of the game can predict kind of half of what they're doing anyway. And I feel like they're really just switching up their strategy to create that FOMO because we know what they're going to do. So I think this is an excuse.
Okay.
No, I would say no.
Okay. Gestal, what about you? Do you think this is a reason why they do it?
Yeah, I mean, if they're coming out with something new and innovative, I could see, but a lot of this stuff has kind of already been done. And yeah, I don't feel like this is as good of a reason as some of the others might have been. So I'd say lowest on the list of good reasons.
Okay. Now this one right here, I think is probably one of the more accurate ones, but legacy company cultures. Some aspects of limited transparency may reflect ingrained cultural habits from Plarium's earlier years, as Plarium was the first company that came out with a really good gacha game. When open players communication was less common across the industry, as games have evolved, companies with more player facing DNAs like Supercell and Riot have leaned into transparency as a competitive differentiator, while more classic free-to-play outfits retain and control the outlook. Basically here it just says, you know what, they've always done it, why should they change, right? It's what they've been ingrained. Do you think that this is something that is, one of the reasons why they do it? We'll try to wrap this up a little quick because I know we're running short on time here, but Ken, do you think it's because they've done it for so long, they don't know anything else?
I mean, I don't know. They can ask help, man. They can check around, it's not hard thing to do it,
Okay.
It's not like culture, they can change. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. They are changing too. I'm not sure they are changing on the good side, but I feel like game is becoming more and more aggressive on the pay and the stuff, pay to win side, I always say that back in the day, you have a CV, I have a CV. There is no difference between us. Now we have a plus for Star Sage. I have no Star Sage. There is some difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gestal, what about you? Do you think that this is one of the reasons why they're not transparent because they've always haven't had to be?
Well, this is what like when you brought this topic up. This is what my thought initially went to. This is just how it's been done. Just keep going, right? They've had pretty much. The people that we know have essentially been the same team since I've played the game, since I've been a CC at least. I don't feel like they've lost really anyone. But namely, the executive producer is Lydia, right? Is the model for Lydia in the game. She's always been the game's producer. So whether she has anything to do with like monetization, I don't know. But in terms of how they run things, yeah, I would say it's par for the course. They're just used to doing it, so they just do it.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, I would imagine just over time, like whatever they set in those first couple of years, and they are the leader in this space. Now they're probably losing some market share here and there, and so I think that's why they've made some of the adjustments they have, like the free gear removal and things like that. But I think it's really hard to change all that when you look at your numbers and they just sold. I mean, what was the final price that they sold the company for?
Uh,
To the new, yeah,
like 800 million or something. Or
yeah,
it was crazy.
like so how do you look back at that and go, okay, we out of scratch made $800 million game or something stupid like that, right? So
Right.
keep doing what we've been doing. So I think there's gonna be legacy company culture. Probably there is some of that, even though there's a new company there. Like the new company is like, well, we just bought it for this. We
Well,
needed
there's
to
the new head
do this
company,
for
but
3 years.
Plarium is still Plarium.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I know. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, gambling company influence, do things this way. This is how the ways have been done. New company buys them out. Well, keep doing what you've been doing because we need to make our return on our investment,
Right.
type thing, right? So,
Jay, what about you? If we could try to keep it a little short because we still got 2 more to go.
be quick.
Basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
And if Plarium doesn't have to fix it, they're gonna keep doing it.
Okay, that's fair. This next one here, legal and regulatory concerns. While disclosure is required in some markets, in other markets, notably the US, there is a relatively little legal risk in reducing what is revealed to the player base. Developers may be reluctant to provide detailed breakdowns for fear of running afoul of ambiguous advertising or gaming laws, especially around the definition of gambling and the management of a chance-based mechanics like loot boxes. So basically, in the US, they're not as strict as they are in the EU. The EU has really cracked this down. So could it be that Plarium doesn't want to face legal actions in some of these things, and that's why they're not as transparent until, hey, we're ready to launch this event right now. This is what you're going to get. Could this be one of the reasons? Ken?
I don't know. Could be. I don't know this kind of stuff. Man,
Well, not a lot of us do, but do you think Plarium, is one of the reasons for them not being transparent is because they're worried that they might get sued? I guess basically this is what this is basically saying.
I don't know. Could be, like, I really don't know the laws, so like,
okay,
don't want to make a comment. But rest of the games are also working on the same countries, right? So if they are not getting trouble, that can't be the real reason, I guess.
Okay, fair point. Gestal, what about you? Do you think that this could be a reason why, or one of the reasons why they're less likely to be transparent with us?
Yeah, I guess they probably have some lawyer being like, maybe you don't want to say this when they're about to send something out. So I could see this being a problem for sure.
Okay. Zero. I know we've had this discussion quite a bit. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. I come from a extremely highly regulatory industry, or my jobs have been related to regulatory pieces on the U.S. side of the house, and I know consumer product protections are more of a EU thing. I do think there needs to be more of this personally. But yeah, it's possible that they don't want to, you know, again, we talk about weaponizing communications and things like that. Like that stuff can come right around and bite you if you cross a reg or open yourself up to be regulated, which will force you to change your business practices. And again, they're raking in the money like we just discussed. They don't want to do that.
Fair. Jay?
Yes, definitely, 100%. For the reason why do I say that? Because even though we might call this game a gotcha game, it's more of a casino game. So if you tell someone 100%, you can get into legal issues. Other gotcha games, they already know what they're getting into. You don't have to hold information or say things specific. People just know what it is because it's always the same thing. It's a gotcha mechanic. Very simple. But in this, it's a little bit more technical. So that's why they watch what they say and watch what they do. So yes, I definitely believe.
Okay. And then last but not least, this one here, I feel like maybe could have some validity to it, but post-acquisition and transactions. Recent acquisition of Plarium by MTG finalizes in early 2025 may also play a role in the acquisition of often lead to process disruptions, shifting focus from the joint optimization of internal policies and revenue strategies. This period of flux can delay or complicate the adoption of new players facing protocols, even when the new parent company has a history of more transparent operations elsewhere. Plarium's recent acquisition could be either that a stumbling block of the opportunity to shift towards a better transparency, depending on how MTG leverages this new asset. Basically saying here, well, they are looking to it to try to do it, but they're not doing it because they don't know how to and how it's going to work with the new company. This one may have some validity to it, right? I haven't played any of the other games that MTG has, so I can't speak for how, I guess, transparent they are in their games, but it could be like, hey, type of situation where we don't know how transparent we can be, because with the new company, if they release everything 2-3 months down the line or whatever, it may come into some problems there. Zero, let me ask you first. What do you think? Do you think this has any validity to it? Could this be some reason why they do it?
No, I don't think so, because they've been this way the whole time. So post acquisition transitions, I don't think this has any bearing on anything.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
Not really. I don't think so. I mean, there might be some things that we don't know, right, behind the scenes, but they're Plarium. They've always stayed the same, and they're gonna probably stay the same, unfortunately. And that's a sad truth. But I hope, we all hope that maybe next year will bring new changes for Plarium.
Okay. Ken, what about yourself?
I mean, I don't know we don't know the detail of the acquisitions. Like MTG. Like I don't know, they are like telling them to change something about the transparency. I don't know. It could be, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay. Gestal, what about yourself?
Yeah, I guess it would really depend on like the contract and how much control Plarium retained and how much control MTG does. Like if they have full control over everything Plarium does and they told them to do this or told them to do that, then yeah, obviously, right? The way I understood it is that Plarium kind of was still in full control, or was still going to be kind of managing everything. So I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's likely, but I would say it is certainly possible.
Okay. All right. So we've discussed a lot of things today. The one last final thing I want to leave you guys on is for everybody here on the Twitch side. There was a pinned comment that I posted up, if I'm trying to bring it up here, which just put a phenomenal smile on my face. It says, I was going to pay my rent, but I went for Leo. I was going to pay my car note, but I went for Leo. I was going to pay for my food, but I went for Leo. And now I'm on the streets with no Leo because I'm blank. So I love that comment. And then I'm getting other DMs saying, I just turned in and saw your pin message, and someone in the Supreme Club just spent 700 to get Leo yesterday. So definitely, you know, I got to say the raid community has a lot of flair to it, and a lot of ingenuity and fun. That said, Ken, where can people come and find you?
I was joking, by the way. I feel bad for him. You guys can find me every single day on the Columbus Reset at the Twitch and the YouTube, guys. FinalKenpachi.
Awesome. Jay, where can people come and find you?
Both on YouTube and Twitch, Jarstar3.
Awesome. Gestal, where can people come and find you?
Yes, both on YouTube and on Twitch, Gestal Gaming.
Awesome. Jay, where can people come and find you?
I already.
Oh, sorry. Zero. Where can people come find you? My bad. I was
Zero.
like, why is he sitting there just looking at me?
Zero Brew on the Twitches and the YouTubes is every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Awesome. Zero, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
King Copium. I'll post his link here in just a minute. Awesome dude. He visits every other week, so make sure you show him some love.
Awesome. Jay, what you got for me for a shout out?
Gonna shout out Pogo Pink Tie. You know, came back recovering and he's streaming. Hope he feels better, man. And that's my shout out.
Awesome. Ken, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
I'd like to shout out a couple of person in my community this week. First of all, Taser, or Final Epic Alt Clan leader. He's working so hard, and big shout out for him. Second of all, Captain George is our main clan deputy. He got a lot of bad stuff happen on his life. He lost like his grandmother, his dog, in the, like all of them happened in like last 1 month. It's like crazy bad. Nine Hill, or leader of the main clan, and last Dalquaz, because he gave me the Battlefield 6 this Friday. Big shout out this beautiful people. Thank you so much, Madudus. I'm sorry, but you guys going to see my amazing aim more. Sorry.
He's like pew 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 pew.
FPS action.
Gestal, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Let's shout out my boy Grim Reaper. He's been doing this thing a long time. Great streamer, very knowledgeable in the game. Go over there, check him out. Grim Reaper TV Raid on Twitch.
Awesome. And Zero, I think you already went, so I'm gonna go ahead and shout out our boy MXPJE that is out this weekend. He's touching grass. He's at a wedding, having some fun. Hopefully, you know, enjoying his time away from raid. Although from what I saw from messages in the chat that we have, he's really sad that he can't be here joining us today. That said, we are going to raid out to Mr. King Copium, who is over on the YouTube side doing some live arena. And to anybody out there that is pushing live arena, you've got 54 minutes. Good luck to you guys all out there. Hopefully, if you're going for it, you place. We'll talk about this next week, as this will be the first week that this happens. See how that goes out. As always, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate you spending your weekend with us. And I guess your shed pull should be better than mine. You'll see a video coming out tomorrow. As always, everybody, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. I'll catch you guys next time.